Something unusual is stacking up in the sky for Aries today, and almost no one talking about this Monday is mentioning all three pieces at once. A wild teacher planet is demanding daring moves. A quick-tongued messenger planet just walked into your zone of romance and creative fire. And the moon itself is shifting into a sign built for connection. Individually, each of these would be worth a passing mention. Together, on the same day, for the same sign, they start to tell one story. Stay with me, because by the end of this you will understand exactly why today feels different and what to actually do with it. The bigger picture. Let us start with the planet most horoscopes get wrong. Chiron, currently moving through Taurus, is often called the wounded healer, and that label misses the point entirely. Chiron in Taurus rewards audacity. This is the placement behind the kind of story where someone takes an outrageous swing and somehow lands it. Discovered in 1977, the same year the world got its first test tube babies, the birth of punk rock, and the first Apple Macintosh, Chiron carries a signature of unconventional breakthroughs. From the Western tropical lens, this is a teaching energy, not a wounding one. It pushes you toward the edge of what feels safe and asks you to jump anyway. Now layer in the day's second major event. Mercury, the planet of communication, has entered Leo, and for Aries this activates your fifth house, the zone of creativity, romance, and self-expression. In Western astrology, the fifth house governs how you play, flirt, perform, and put your ideas into the world. Mercury here does not whisper, it performs. Expect your thoughts to arrive with more confidence, more color, more willingness to be seen. Meanwhile, from the Vedic or sidereal tradition, today's moon is passing through Gemini, a placement astrologers there associate with mental clarity and emotional lightness. Vedic practitioners note this moon tends to bring vitality and a settled mind, favorable for both love and family matters. There is also a specific window, between 1:40 in the afternoon and 2:55, that Vedic tradition marks as auspicious for important decisions today. Here is where it gets interesting. The Western lens sees Mercury in Leo as a call to self-expression and bold creative risk. The Vedic lens sees the Gemini moon as a call to mental clarity and gentle communication. Both are pointing at the same underlying truth from different angles. Today favors saying the thing, sharing the idea, speaking up. One tradition frames it through fire and performance. The other frames it through air and lucidity. Either way, your voice is the instrument being tuned today. Love. You may have noticed your usual filter softening a little today. With Mercury now lighting up your zone of romance and self-expression, flirting does not feel like a risk anymore. It feels like a release. A bold compliment, a playful message, a spontaneous invitation. Today, these land better than they normally would, especially if the earlier, gentler mood set by the Gemini moon has already warmed things at home. But here is what almost every generic horoscope leaves out. There is a real temptation buried in this energy. When your delivery is this good, it is easy to start performing instead of connecting. You crack the perfect joke, you get the laugh, and the conversation stays clever but never gets real. If you are watching this and you are currently dating or already attached, this next part matters for you specifically. Ask one honest question between the jokes today. Give the other person something true to respond to. Chemistry needs more than excellent delivery. It needs a moment where the performance drops. Career. That same charismatic communication does not stay confined to romance. It bleeds directly into how you show up professionally today. This is the kind of day where a creative idea that has been sitting half-formed in your head is finally ready to leave the nest. You do not need it polished, you need it spoken. Take a breath here, because this next part is genuinely practical. Do not wait until the pitch is flawless before you let it breathe. Shape the spark into a simple outline. Test it on someone you trust before you take it wider. Mercury in your fifth house rewards enthusiasm as much as precision, so let some of that energy do the work for you today. If a conversation with a stranger or a new collaborator crosses your path, stay alert. Someone whose skills complement yours might be closer than you think, and this kind of chart favors those unplanned meetings that turn out to matter. Money. Now, that surge of confidence is not just social currency. It touches your finances too. Today's overall energy leans favorable for money conversations, investment decisions, and financial planning. This is not a green light to be reckless. It is more that your clarity of mind, especially under the Gemini moon's influence, puts you in a good position to think practically about resources. If you have a financial conversation or decision on your plate, Vedic tradition points to that early afternoon window, roughly 1:40 to 2:55, as a favorable stretch for handling important matters. Whether or not you follow that specific timing, the broader theme holds. This is a day for clear-headed financial choices rather than impulsive ones, even while your creative and romantic energy is running high elsewhere. Health. Here is what makes today genuinely worth paying attention to. You have two different traditions, Western and Vedic, both independently pointing to the same underlying shift. A mind that feels lighter, more expressive, and more willing to take a chance. That convergence is rare enough that it is worth noticing on its own. What that means for you practically is this. Today is not just a good day to speak up. It is a day when the cosmic weather is unusually aligned in support of it. Most people scrolling past their horoscope this morning will miss that convergence entirely. You will not. With that in mind, let us bring it back down to the body. Picture your energy today like a kettle that has been simmering and is now close to a boil, thanks to that same Gemini moon vitality the Vedic tradition describes. That is a gift, but it also means you can run past your own limits without noticing. Avoid sugary drinks today and lean into water instead. If exercise is part of your day, take the extra few minutes to warm up properly before pushing hard. Your body is willing to keep pace with your mind right now, but only if you give it a fair start. On the subject of remedies, some Vedic practitioners may recommend Saturn-related practices, such as specific gemstones or mantras, for individuals whose birth charts particularly support them. This is not universal advice, and gemstone prescription in Vedic astrology requires personal chart analysis rather than a blanket recommendation for an entire sign. If you are curious about that path, it is worth exploring with someone who can read your full chart, not applying generically. Home and family. Perhaps you have already sensed a pull toward home today, even amid all this outward-facing energy. Family may need your presence more than usual, and if someone close to you is moving through a hard stretch, today favors simply showing up for them. The same lucid, settled quality that the Gemini moon brings to your mind also makes you a source of calm for people around you. Your positivity today has a way of spreading, almost without effort. If there is room in your schedule, this is a good day to plan something simple with the people you love. Even a small shared moment carries extra weight under this moon. Relationships close to home may show a few small ups and downs today. Nothing dramatic, but honest communication keeps things steady. The same principle that serves your romantic life today, saying the true thing instead of the clever thing, applies just as well at the family table. Travel and spirit. There is a thread connecting everything you have heard so far, and it comes back to that daring, unconventional teacher energy from Chiron in Taurus. Think of it like standing at the edge of a diving board you have stood on 100 times, except today the water looks different, and something in you wants to jump anyway. That is the undercurrent running beneath today's chart. It is not reckless. It is an invitation to trust that some outcomes exceed what careful planning alone could produce. If travel is part of your day, even something as small as a short unplanned outing, let it happen. This is not a chart demanding stillness. It is one that rewards a willingness to move, to speak, to try the unfamiliar option. Spiritually, today favors reflection paired with action rather than reflection alone. Journaling about the idea you are sitting on, or simply speaking it aloud to someone you trust, counts as a spiritual practice today as much as any quiet meditation would. Lucky signs. For color, today favors anything except green, which Vedic tradition suggests carries a less favorable charge for you right now. Your most favorable window for important actions falls between 1:40 and 2:55 in the afternoon. The energy you are most likely to click with today comes from someone equally quick-witted, someone who meets your Leo-toned Mercury spark with their own, rather than someone who prefers to stay quiet and cautious. Consider this stretch of the day tuned for boldness with just enough clarity to keep it grounded. That is guidance. So here is where all of this actually lands. You have got a teacher planet in Taurus daring you to take the outrageous swing. You have got Mercury in Leo handing you the confidence and the words to make that swing land. And you have got a clear, settled moon in Gemini giving you the mental space to know the difference between a bold move and a careless one. That is a rare enough combination that it is worth treating today as more than an ordinary Monday. The practical version of all this is simple. Say the honest thing inside the flirtation. Share the outline before it is perfect. Handle the money conversation with a clear head, ideally in that early afternoon window. Warm up before you push your body. Show up for family without being asked twice. None of these require perfect conditions, and today is not offering you perfect conditions anyway. It is offering you good enough conditions and a nudge toward courage. That nudge is the real gift of this particular Monday, and how you use it is entirely up to you.